Today is the best day of my whole life because it is International Black Forest Cake Day, my favorite. We've made smoothies, we've made pavlovas, and now we're going to make Black Forest donuts. Here to show us how to do that is Justine Keegan, who is the food editor for Fair Lady magazine. Justine, so good to have you here.
So nice to be here.
Okay, so this recipe has a few steps, right?
It does have a few steps, but it's quite simple, so I'll just talk you through it.
Beautiful.
Basically, we're going to start with the dough. It's a yeast dough, so we have our flour.
Yeah.
And because it's a chocolate donut, we're going to add some cocoa to
Ooh,
it.
yummy.
Yummy. Some yeast.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt. And
Some
sugar. So
I like that we've transformed everything that we've made today into a Black Forest kind of recipe. It's so nice. It's something that a lot of us don't have often, hey?
No, I suppose it's quite a retro sort of recipe, but I mean, like today and all the other recipes you've mentioned, you're really pulling it into current times. Okay, so you've got your dry ingredients, and then what we do is we've got some milk, some melted butter, an egg, and we mix these together.
Okay.
Basically, in we go.
Nice.
And I'm
Do you
going
need
to
a little
put
mixer
a little mix. So basically,
okay.
thank you. So we mix that together. Pour the butter in. So it's always good to add your liquids to your dry ingredients.
Yeah.
So in we go. If you want to stir that.
Okay, I'll stir that for you.
Alrighty. Whoops.
There we go.
And a little bit of essence.
Lovely.
And that really makes up our dough.
Okay.
And what happens is once this is all mixed together, it forms a dough. We knead it. And we let it stand and rise for about an hour so that the yeast kind of reacts with everything.
Lovely. And then once we have done mixing everything together and it's come out as a dough, that's what it's going to look like.
It is. You can
this is so much fun. I just want to do this all day. Okay,
you
but
can
we
get
have
in
to
there
move
with your
on.
hands.
And it smells good too.
Yes, it does. Or a food mixer,
Yeah.
if you have one, can make it a
All
bit
right,
easier.
what's the next step?
So this dough becomes this, okay? And then to make donuts, what you can do, if you don't have a donut cutter, is take a cutter like this, pop it in.
I usually just use a cup.
Yes, you can. A
That
flower.
works too.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then to make the center, just like that.
Oh, there we go. In the center, Mr. Fenter. Lovely.
So
So now
that's
that
what
we've got our
happens.
one donut that's cut out.
Our one donut.
That's very cute. It's got
Very
a
cute.
nice little pattern as well.
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah.
once we've got the donuts, which we've got here, we've got some prepared. What happens next?
Okay, once we've got them prepared and they look like this, what we do is we heat oil, it's vegetable oil, and to about 180 degrees.
Okay.
All right, and then you take your donut, you let it rise again a little bit.
All right.
It's in the recipe, so you let it rise again for about another 20 minutes, and then you put it on a spatula and then into your oil.
So this is where we have to be very careful because we are working with very hot oil here.
Yes, yeah.
And for how long do you leave it in your oil for?
Just for a couple of minutes until it's sort of crisp up on both sides and it rises. The heat, you see, this is where the yeast and the heat react.
Okay.
And it rises up.
That looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Our stove is on, it's busy cooking there nicely. All right, so what happens now from here? We've cooked our donuts, they're busy becoming nice and fat and juicy.
Okay, so from here now to make the whole Black Forest Gâteau experience, we make the syrup.
Oh, wow.
And in the syrup, it's the cherries, the sugar, and it goes in with the water. And
we got there? Yeah.
we have to be very careful with here is that you don't splash any water into the oil.
Oh, okay.
Because it can splutter
All right.
badly.
So this is where we have to be really careful.
Super careful.
I'm going to trust you with this.
Okay,
there
so
she
we
goes.
go.
I'll let the professionals do this because me, I will splash. There we go. See there?
we go.
Seamless. Our sugar. How much sugar is that? That's about half a cup?
Yes, it's about half a cup, so it's nice and sweet.
Okay.
And this makes a lovely syrup. And then what happens is we take the syrup, we blitz it, and we put the kirsch in.
Okay.
And then when the hot donut comes out, we dunk it into the ice cold syrup.
Yeah.
All right. What we do then is we halve it, pipe the cream, and voila,
Wow,
that's
that
your
looks
donut.
amazing. That's like a high-end donut right there. I mean, it's the steps of a normal donut, but it looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Now, that looks so good. Now, if you want to see how we made this, because there were quite a few steps involved, you can definitely check out our recap. But before we get there, why don't you SMS the word SWEET to 33728. We'll send you your ingredients list and the link to the recipe, and you could be making this yourself. Let's take one more look at how we did it.
Sift flour, cocoa and salt and stir in yeast and sugar. Whisk egg, milk, vanilla and butter and mix into dry ingredients. Knead the dough, then cover and rise until doubled. Make syrup by boiling sugar, water and cherries. Add liqueur, then bland and refrigerate. Roll out dough and cut donut shapes, then rise again until doubled. Fry in oil, then dunk in cold syrup. Slice in half and fill with cream. For the full recipe, visit the Espresso Morning Show Facebook page or log on to www.expressoshow.com. SMS the keyword SWEET to 33728 to receive the shopping list on your phone. SMSs cost R1.50, no free SMSs, T's and C's apply.
And there you have it. That keyword is sweet. SMS it to 33728. SMSs will cost you R1.50 and no free SMSs apply. And you could be making this Black Forest donut courtesy of Justine Kigan. Very nice. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to hide it away right now because this is too good to share. I don't think, do you want to share? Do you want to share it with me?
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
You can take half, I'll take half. Okay, shh. They mustn't hear us. We'll be right back after the break. See you now.